Welcome to the lab section of this course. Included with your training materials will be a lab document. The lab document will include some quick shortcut keys for IntelliJ, so please take a look. Also, we discussed editing the colors and the presentation of IntelliJ. We're going to also take a look at that. Now, if we go down here, we can see that we will be there will be some steps for setup. If you are already set up, that's great. A lot of times you should be able to install IntelliJ. You may need to check your version of Java just to double check that the version of IntelliJ that you're using is supported. And then we're going to go through the tasks that are in the project. So we're going to open the Corda Training Template Master project, and we're going to load that, and we're going to go through each of the files. And in this case, what we are going to do is, since we don't have a Corda node, we're going to work on the unit tests, on the Kotlin unit tests, and then we're going to simply remove some comments and get the test to pass. So there are pretty clear instructions here of what to do. There are also instructions in your in the files themselves. So you can see here each file, the name of the file, and simply scroll down, and you can see the highlighted section is where you want to go, and you want to remove your comments there. And again, if we open the actual files, you'll see comments there. You do have the solution files. So the idea here is, because we can't ask questions, you can directly compare the work you are doing versus the solution. So let's open up IntelliJ and take a look here at some of the ways that we can change the settings. So here I've started IntelliJ, and what we simply want to do is click the open function, and we want to navigate to the directory where the project is. And we want the template master, so we'll select this, we'll click OK. And we want to import the Gradle project. So down here in the lower right-hand corner, click all of these, click OK. And let everything load up. Now, we have the project loaded. We can see everything came in. Notice here I've expanded Kotlin and Kotlin source, so we want to do that. And we want to move over here to the right from the drop down and make sure we select Kotlin unit tests. So a few things about the layout. What you can do is edit the colors. I'm not a big fan of those colors that you get out of the box. So one thing we can do, and this is in your notes, you can go here to File, and you can go to Settings, Editor, Color Scheme, and Color Scheme again. And the out of the box is something called Dracula, but you want default. And if you select default, you'll see it look just like this, which I think is much more readable. Again, this is all included in your notes. What we're going to do then is expand the Kotlin tests folder. And we are going to go down and we are going to follow our notes. So here are all of our tests. Again, we don't have an actual Corda node, so we're going to run a simulation. Our first exercise is going to be on the IOU state test, so we'll double click here and open it. And if we look here, we can see pretty clearly that we have comments in here for task 1. So we can take a look here and you can see what needs to be done. And similarly, you can also open the solution file. If you're not a Kotlin expert, that's fine. There's also the Java source in here as well. Kotlin is preferred most of the time because it's shorter in syntax and it has some security features like nothing is ever nullable. Nullable can cause issues on distributed ledger technology. So Kotlin has some advantages to it. However, it is very, very close to Java. So if you know Java, you can pick up Kotlin pretty quickly. You can see here we have the class, we have, instead of the methods, we have the functions and so on. So what I'll do here is just go through this, go through the first one, and then we'll compare it to the solution. So for this first exercise, we actually have to go into the source. So what I did, if you look over here to the left, was in the Kotlin source, I navigated into main Kotlin under net Corda training. I went down to the state package and opened up the IOU state. Just like our instructions say, we have to import 2 more classes or 2 more libraries. One of them is Java currency. And then I updated down here the input to the IOU state here. If you read the instructions, you'll see that we've got to remove the val string data property. And we're going to put the amount is currency here. Then we go back here to the IOU state tests, and we look at the first test, class 1, and we can certainly navigate down a little bit. And so what we'll do is we'll remove the comments here on this first test and then run the test. So please also, as you go through, please look at the code, please look at the structure of these classes. You'll actually see things like parties, the contract state. This is all important here because this is everything that we talked about, and please try to read the comments. That's part of the lab as well, is to actually go in here and understand how these Corda contracts and Corda classes are built. So this is the actual source for the contract. This again is the state class. Let's go back to the test. And what I've done is I've removed these comments for the test. Please make sure you remove the comments for the annotation here. That is needed. That can be a little confusing. So each line, there are some lines in here that are commented out because they are just instructions or for learning or pointing something out. That's fine. So we have this function in this test class, completely uncommented now. And notice we also have the annotation uncommented. Don't miss that. And we have this little arrow here. We also have the Kotlin unit tests. We can run the test directly from this arrow, or we can click run and run Kotlin tests. But in this case, the fastest way typically is to just just to the left of your test, click on here and run the test, and you'll actually get some output here. And in this case, first time you run it, it may take a little bit, but we can see here we've had success. Our first test passed. So, we actually have the solutions as well. So compare back and forth. Again, go to the second task, follow the steps in there. They're all in there. You also have the solutions. Go through one at a time. You may not need to go through every single test to begin to get the idea. However, I do recommend looking at the source code, both Java and Kotlin. Again, you can pick up Kotlin very easily if you know Java, and there are classes offered by coding boot camps in Kotlin. Kotlin, like I said, does offer some advantages because it does not explicitly allow nulls, and as you can imagine, in the world of in this kind of world we've been discussing, nulls can be a very big problem. So Kotlin gives us some advantages. So please go through the remaining tasks and again compare it to the solution. So the entire lab should take about another 30 minutes or so. Now that we got our first test to pass, let's make that comparison to the solution. So what we're going to do is just simply load the solution project. So you don't have to go back and forth between every single task. Compare it as you feel comfortable. But we'll make a comparison of the first task just for this example. So we'll say here, File, Open, and then we'll navigate to Corda Training Solutions Master Project and click OK. And I'm just going to clear everything here. We'll go into Kotlin Source, navigate down, and we'll open up the state tests. And if you take a look here, you will see that, and if we go back here to state, you will see all of the updates that were made here, the libraries that were imported, and also the updates that we made for the amount. So please compare these, and you might see a little more completeness on the solution as well, but you can certainly work around that. And so go back and forth, and if you run into trouble, first place to look is the solution, and you can use the solution to help one at a time work your way through the actual exercises. For more information on Corda sessions or other distributed ledger and blockchain technology courses, please consult your learning materials. Also for Corda private coaching sessions, please consult your learning materials. There are self-paced courses as well in the popular distributed ledger technologies and blockchain technologies, and some live blockchain courses as well. And here are some resources, docs, corda.net, please look there. There is a Stack Overflow, and Slack, you can join that. And these are great resources because you can directly communicate with the Corda community. So thank you again for watching this video and this course. I certainly enjoyed presenting to you. We hope you enjoyed it. And again, this course was a presentation of Coding Bootcamps.